Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers for the coming 3 weeks, December 22nd to January 9th, reveal that Jocelyn Jacks will play a dangerous game while Portia Robinson maybe admits a baby daddy pick. Alexis Davis may also admit a new defense tactic, so that's what GH suckers can look forward to. The week of December 22nd to 26th will give Portia an occasion to open up to Ava Jerome, so she might get honest about who she really wants the father of her baby to be. Would Portia rather have the forthcoming maternity test results point to Isaiah Gannon rather of Curtis Ashford? As for Trina Robinson, she'll try to smooth effects over with someone. Since Trina's been awfully rude to Jordan Ashford recently, she might apologize and hope they can find some path to peace. Peace will also be the thing for Dante Falconeri and Giovanni Gio Palmieri as they celebrate the leaves as a family with Rocco Falconeri. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase will get updates on some disappointing news. It could leave Chase upset about the outgrowth of Willow Kane's trial, but it's not over yet. Alexis will be on the entering end of some shocking new information, so this could come from Martin Gray or whoever the eavesdropper was who learned indicting Michael Corinthos and Tracy Quartermain intel. This could clearly affect how Alexis proceeds when it comes to defending Willow in court. We also have a quick programming note to pass on since GH will be pirated on Thursday, December 25th. Fortunately, suckers wouldn't have to stay long for further Port Charles action since new occurrences will renew on Friday, December 26th. As for Willow's trial, Drew Kane may readdress the idea of pretending he remembers Michael shooting him. Alexis tried to steer Drew down from that plan and it looks like Willow may do the same, but could Drew pretend to have total recall anyway? That could lead to trouble if Drew remembers Willow pulling the detector rather down the road. In the meantime, Sidwell will throw a big bash at Windmere, so it'll be intriguing to see what curveballs get thrown. Could there be some party host fermentation or will Commodity Additional bring the drama at the castle? Whatever the case, Anna Devane will continue to pound over kidnapper suggestions during the week of December 29th to January 2nd and could potentially try to escape if Pascal loses his grip on the situation. New Year's Eve is also coming up, so some pairings could enjoy counting down to 2026 with some romantic scenes. However, maybe Molly and Cody will partake a night kiss, if Cody Bell can get his act together and eventually help Molly Lansing Davis see he's into her rather of Britt Westbourne. As for Jocelyn, her hunt to uncover who Barbara Saunders really is could lead to some marvels. Since Carly Spencer is the one who pretended to be Valentine Cassidy's counsel, will Jocelyn find a trail to follow and figure that out? Anyhow, the week of January 5th to 9th could bring some other tight spots for Jocelyn since she's going to dig for further Brit-related answers and report back to Jason Morgan. Still, also he may hang her with disloyalty charges, if Brennan discovers Jocelyn is going behind his reverse and discovering effects she shouldn't be discovering. As for Sonny Corinthos and Laura Collins, they'll stopgap they can learn further about Sidwell's docket and use it against him. The further demands Sidwell makes, the more he'll open himself up to miscalculations that could bring him. General Hospital recaps for Monday, December 22nd reveal Jason Morgan paid the dine and dash bill, and Portia Robinson was subpoenaed. And outdoors Cody Bell's apartment at the Quartermain Forces, he and Molly Lansing Davis eventually kissed. Gio Palmieri was helping Trina Robinson set up her Christmas tree when Emma Scorpio Drake came by with a gift. Emma asked why her swain was ent with Dante Falconeri and his family. He admitted he was reluctant to visit Lulu Spencer, but if Dante went, he'd too. After Gio left, Emma allowed about joining him for support, so Trina transferred her to Lulu's with a special point. Alone, Trina finished up and looked at a print of her, Portia, and Curtis Ashford from last Christmas upset about her broken family. She laid on the couch. Chase brought Britt and Brad to the PCPD. At the PCPD, Detective Harrison Chase brought in Brad Cooper and Britt Westbourne after they dined and dashed at Café Sherry. He took them to the interrogation room and left them with Britt's phone to make calls before heading back to the bullpen. When Britt couldn't reach Nina Reeves, she complained that her family didn't watch about her, and Brad shocked about spending the night in jail. Britt suffed, realizing there was one other person she could call. Danny, Jason, Molly, and Christina brought a Christmas tree to Alexis' house. Alexis Davis was on the phone, trying to find someone from the sanitarium. Also Danny Morgan, Jason, Molly, and Christina Corinthos Davis came in with a Christmas tree. She had been too busy with the trial to embellish. Danny wished Scout Kane was with them, and Alexis told him she hoped her work on Willow's case would let him see his family again. Meanwhile, Christina asked Molly why Cody wasn't with them, and Molly said she hadn't seen him since Thanksgiving night. Jason explained to Molly what she saw at the brown dog Jason fitted, mentioning that he'd been at the brown dog when Molly entered that evening, and he noted that Britt was relatively inebriated when she kissed Cody. He further remarked that Molly hadn't witnessed Cody end the kiss and participated that Cody had spent the remainder of the night fixated on the door. It seems like he might have been anticipating someone, Christina remarked, casting a pointed regard at her sister. Shortly later, Jason entered a call from Britt, who informed him that she was presently detained at the PCPD. Informing the family that he demanded to attend to a pressing matter, Jason hastened off, assuring them that he'd come back laterally. Christina and Danny encouraged Molly to seek out Cody. Alexis kept trying to detect a witness on the phone again. Alexis stressed the need to find a missing substantiation for court the coming day. She told the person on the line to get Amy Driscoll's help, as she could detect anyone. While decorating the tree, Christina Corinthos Davis told her family to ease up on Cody for kissing Britt. Molly said she held no grudge against Cody, especially since she no way showed interest in him. Danny chimed in, saying guys are oblivious, and need effects explained. He suggested Cody aloud. Molly was out of his league, and she should tell him how she feels, calling Danny a genius. Molly went to find Cody. Jason paid for the dine and gusto while staying for Jason at the station. Britt walked around the interrogation room. Brad indicted her of hiding details about her relationship with Jason, but she claimed he was just helping her get back on her bases. When Jason arrived, they told him their story about the bill confusion at Café Sherry. He refused to bail Brad out, also left, and Brad kept censuring him. Latterly, Chase came back with an instant camera and took a picture of Britt and Brad. He told them they could leave and that the filmland were for the eatery since they were banned from returning, and that Jason had covered their bill and left a big tip. Ava and Nina met at the Metro Court to bandy their fellowship. Ava Jerome invited Nina to the Metro Court eatery to bandy their fellowship. Nina was worried that Ava told Portia about her, and Ava was frustrated that Nina had betrayed their collective friend. Ava claimed Portia merited a warning, just as she'd have advised Nina if places were reversed. Ignoring a call from Rick Lansing, Nina reposted that she didn't report Portia to the police. She only mentioned to Sonny Corinthos that Portia might have a motive. She added that she had made worse choices to cover her son. Ava and Nina conformed, pressing the common traits they participated. Ava managed to blandish Nina into fading that both of them tend to come protective when they realize they're in the wrong. Ava expressed her remorse for catching Nina off guard at the brown dog, and in response, Nina conceded that she understood Ava's logic for inviting Portia to join their gathering that day. Although Nina felt that her relationship with Portia might be irrecoverable, she held on to the stopgap that she hadn't lost Ava as a friend. As they conformed, the two women openly conceded the significance of their fellowship. Ava indeed believed that Nina had the implicit to mend her relationship with Portia. Jordan and Curtis also dined at the Metro Court across the eatery. Jordan Ashford and Curtis bandied how he'd told Drew Kane it wouldn't do either of them any good if he went on trial. He filled her in about the PCPD discovering new substantiation against Willow Tate. He explained it was what eventually led to the execution, dropping the charges against him and moving forward with the case against her. As their converse turned to Trina's low opinion of Jordan, she commended that she understood why Curtis's son was condemning her. She'd criticized her to her face for the dissolution of his and Portia's marriage, especially with the new baby on the way. Curtis promised he'd make effects clear to Trina. Curtis pledged to make sure that it was clear to Trina that he'd be there to support Portia and the baby, and he and Portia do'n't have to be together for that to be. Jordan noted that it wasn't so important about the baby as it was that Trina believed her presence had undermined Portia and Curtis's marriage. She also said she felt they should call it quits before their love caused further damage to his relationship with his son. Refusing to entertain a bifurcation, Curtis claimed that formerly Trina understood there was no affair, she'd come around. Stating that he wasn't going to give Jordan up again, Curtis kissed her. Jason returned to Alexis' house, Isaiah tries to calm Portia when Jason got back to Alexis's house. She mentioned that she wasn't sure if he'd return. Jason said he didn't want to miss time with Danny like he did with Monica Quartermaine, just as Christina and Danny came down with the star for the tree. While the others placed the crusher on, Alexis got a call that Amy had an address for the substantiation. In the meantime, at Isaiah Gannon's cabin, Portia said she was bothered her relationship with Trina could be permanently damaged if the baby turned out to be his. Indeed, though her marriage to Curtis was principally over, her son would see the gestation as a treason to her father. Portia was subpoenaed. Isaiah gently told Portia that fussing about it wasn't helping her, and the only thing she could control was taking care of herself and the baby. He also asked how she really felt about the baby, and she participated that her gestation was an unanticipated blessing, indeed though she was spooked of the unknowns. Gently kissing her hand, Isaiah wanted to know how he could help her, and Portia valued his calm, non-judgmental presence. When Isaiah admitted that he truly hoped the baby was his, despite the complicated situation, Portia confessed that she had hoped he was the father too. Just as they kissed, there was a knock on the door. It was a process garçon delivering a process to Portia to swear the coming day at Willow's trial. Lulu was nervous about the tree trimming party. Nervous about the family tree trimming party, Lulu Spencer asked Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos to keep Dante Falconeri and Gio Palmieri from arguing. They talked about how Gio and Rocco erected their relationship, but Lulu was still anxious about the pressure between Dante and Gio. When Dante arrived, he was surprised to see Laura and Sonny, and Laura joked they were there to cushion the situation. Rocco Falconeri and Charlotte Cassadine came downward, and as the teens decorated the tree with the grandparents, Dante thanked Lulu for her buffers. The boys went outside to get some wood. Sonny held Dante back from following them. Dante also asked Rocco about his community service hours, and Rocco said the DA would handle it after the leaves. They had a small advance when Dante offered help, and Rocco accepted. Gio arrived, and Rocco asked him to help with wood. Dante tried to join them outdoors, but Sonny advised him to let the sisters have some time alone. Lulu and Laura smiled when Dante agreed to stay back. Lulu noticed Dante watching the boys through the window and prompted him to let Rocco and Gio figure effects out on their own. Outdoors, Rocco thanked Gio for skipping a night with Emma to be there, and Gio said the family gathering was important. Sonny and Laura talked about guarding their family from Sidwell. Back outside, Sonny and Laura talked still about guarding their family from Jen Sidwell and hoped their plan would make him lower his guard. After bringing in wood, Rocco blazoned he'd commodity to say. He apologized to Laura for putting her in a tough spot after her election and thanked his family for their support during his legal troubles. Checking on Charlotte, Laura assured her granddaughter that Valentine Cassadine would be glad she was with family who loved her. In the meanwhile, Dante approached Rocco and expressed pride in his son's reason to his grandmother. Lulu talked about Christmas cautions, and Gio and Emma kissed as Rocco forcefully shook Dante's hand. Lulu playfully remarked to Laura that it was nothing short of a Christmas phenomenon. Latterly on, as fate would have it, Gio stepped outdoors just at the moment when Emma arrived, carrying mistletoe that Trina had given her. She expressed to him that she had come to the consummation that her conduct might have made him feel as though he'd to resolve his issues with Dante each by himself. She wanted him to know that she was there to support him. Gio expressed his gratefulness, lifted the mistletoe high above his head, and in that magical moment, they participated a kiss while snowflakes gently fell around them. Tracy recaptured her stolen glove at the Forces. Tracy Quartermaine complained about Outback taking one of her riding gloves. Cody reminded her that if it weren't for the K9, Ronnie Bard could have inked the contract, and she'd have lost the house. Tracy said her gratefulness was limited because when Outback moved by, the house was Monica's, but now it was hers. Cody called her Baranka, knowing Tracy wouldn't anticipate him to part with his princess pie, and she smiled. During a backgammon game, Tracy admitted she undervalued the burden of leading the family, as she no way anticipated to take on that part. The festive glow of the holiday season in Port Charles is about to be violently short-circuited by scandal, legal gambits, and perilous secrets. As the community gathers to celebrate, underlying tensions threaten to explode, transforming whispers into confrontations and quiet schemes into public warfare. The weeks spanning December 22nd to January 9th promise a baptism by fire for many, where encouraging words of support will clash with angry threats of exposure, and the quest for truth could lead to devastating consequences. Week of December 22nd to 26th, confessions, clues, and Christmas Eve gambles. The final days before Christmas become a pressure cooker for Port Charles's most prominent families. For Portia Robinson, the strain of her secret pregnancy reaches a breaking point. Finding an unlikely confidant in Ava Jerome, Portia may finally unburden herself, revealing her deepest hope, that the impending paternity test names Isaiah Gannon as the father, not her estranged husband, Curtis Ashford. This confession isn't merely about personal desire, it's a strategic maneuver born of fear and a desperate wish to minimize the collateral damage to her relationship with her daughter, Trina. However, Portia's moment of vulnerability is brutally interrupted by the cold hand of the law, a subpoena delivered to Isaiah's doorstep, compelling her to testify at Willow Tate's trial. Her private hopes are now public business. Across town, the Robinson-Ashford family fracture deepens. Trina, racked with guilt over her harsh treatment of Jordan Ashford, attempts an olive branch, hoping to broker peace for the sake of her fractured family. Meanwhile, Curtis, determined to protect his new romance, firmly rejects Jordan's self-sacrificing suggestion to end their relationship. He vows to make Trina understand that his commitment to Jordan did not destroy his marriage, a promise that will be severely tested as Portia's testimony and paternity results loom. The legal arena surrounding Willow's trial grows ever more treacherous. Alexis Davis, fighting for Willow's freedom, is desperate for a breakthrough. Her prayers seem answered when a shocking piece of information lands in her lap, potentially from Martin Gray or the mysterious eavesdropper who overheard Michael Corinthos and Tracy Quartermain's damning conspiracy. This new intelligence could revolutionize her defense strategy. However, a wild card remains: Drew Kane. Haunted by his fragmented memories, he revisits the dangerous idea of pretending his full recall has returned, a move both Alexis and Willow have warned against. If he proceeds and his memories somehow implicate Willow further, he could single-handedly seal her fate. Amidst the tension, moments of peace are hard-won. Dante Falconeri and Gio Palmieri navigate a fragile truce during a family tree trimming at Lulu Spencer's, facilitated by Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos. The event becomes a small Christmas miracle as Rocco Falconeri offers a heartfelt apology to Laura for his past actions, and Gio shares a magical, snow-kissed moment under the mistletoe with Emma Scorpio Drake. Yet, even this gathering is tinged with strategy, as Sonny and Laura quietly plot to use Jen Sidwell's own overconfidence against him. The holiday spirit evaporates entirely for some. Harrison Chase receives discouraging updates on the case, fueling his anxiety for Willow. Jocelyn Jacks, undeterred by risk, deepens her investigation into the enigmatic Barbara Saunders, unknowingly inching closer to her mother Carly Spencer's dangerous secret. And at the PCPD, a comedic incident turns revealing when Jason Morgan bails out a dine-and-dashing Britt Westbourne and Brad Cooper. Britt's call to Jason, and his swift, unquestioning assistance, hints at a connection that extends beyond mere friendship, leaving Brad suspicious and adding another layer to Port Charles's intricate web of loyalties. Programming note: fans should mark their calendars, as General Hospital will not air on Thursday, December 25th, in observance of Christmas. The drama resumes with a new episode on Friday, December 26th. Week of December 29th to January 2nd, escapes, midnight kisses, and unwelcome revelations. As the year winds down, the pursuit of truth and freedom takes center stage. Anna Devane, held captive by the relentless Pascal, seizes on any lapse in her kidnapper's vigilance to plan a daring escape. Every clue she gathers and every moment of inattention could be her ticket back to Port Charles. New Year's Eve brings the promise of new beginnings and romantic resolutions. All eyes are on Cody Bell and Molly Lansing Davis. After Jason clarified the context of Britt's drunken kiss, Molly is encouraged by Christina Corinthos Davis and Danny Morgan to be forthright with Cody. If Cody can convincingly demonstrate that his heart belongs to Molly, and not to the specter of his past with Britt, the clock striking midnight could find them sharing a long-awaited, definitive kiss, potentially sparking a new romance for the new year. However, the night's celebrations are overshadowed by looming threats. Sidwell's lavish bash at Windermere Castle is less a party and more a tactical display of power, The event is ripe for chaos, potentially attracting unwanted party crashers or becoming the stage for a shocking confrontation that could shift the balance of power in Port Charles. Most dangerously, Jocelyn Jacks's solo investigation hits critical mass. Her digging into Barbara Saunders begins to yield tangible results, creating a trail that leads disturbingly close to home. As she prepares to report her findings to Jason Morgan, she remains blissfully unaware of the mortal danger she courts. Her actions are a direct threat to Brennan, and if he discovers her betrayal, his retaliation will be swift and severe. Treason charges are not an empty threat in his world, and Jocelyn may find that her quest for answers has painted a target on her back. Week of January 5th to 9th, tightening vices and dire threats. The new year opens not with renewal, but with escalating peril. Jocelyn's position becomes increasingly precarious. As she continues to gather intelligence on Britt's whereabouts and activities for Jason, she operates in the shadow of Brennan's formidable reach. The moment he uncovers her duplicity, Port Charles will witness a clash of titans. Brennan's threat of treason charges is a profound danger, one that could force Jason and Sonny Corinthos into a direct and explosive conflict with the intelligence operative to protect her. The chess game against Sidwell intensifies. Sonny and Laura, having observed his movements and demands, actively work to turn his arrogance against him. They hope to exploit any mistake, leveraging his overreach to dismantle his agenda and protect their families from his manipulation. Their alliance represents a formidable front, but Sidwell is a cunning adversary who has planned for every contingency. In the courtroom, Alexis deploys the shocking new information she acquired, potentially altering the trajectory of Willow's trial in a dramatic last-ditch effort. Meanwhile, Drew's internal struggle over his memory, whether to feign full recall or not, reaches a climax. His decision could provide the exculpatory evidence Willow desperately needs, or it could inadvertently deliver the final, damning testimony that convicts her. The line between salvation and destruction is perilously thin. On a personal front, Portia braces for the impact of the paternity results. No matter the outcome, the revelation will send seismic shockwaves through her life, her relationship with Trina, and the already complicated dynamic with Curtis and Jordan. Her earlier confession to Ava will be put to the ultimate test, and the father of her child will be thrust into the center of a raging emotional storm. Recap: the spark that lit the fuse, Monday, December 22nd. The day's events set all these plots into motion with crystalline clarity. At the PCPD, Chase processed Britt and Brad for their dine and dash, a minor offense that had major implications. Britt's reluctant call to Jason for help, and his immediate, generous resolution of the situation, paying the bill and a large tip, highlighted a loyalty that piqued Brad's curiosity and underscored Jason's unwavering code. A pivotal moment of clarity occurred at Alexis Davis's home. As the family decorated a Christmas tree, Jason directly addressed Molly's heartache, explaining that the kiss she witnessed between Cody and Britt was a one-sided, alcohol-fueled mistake, and that Cody had spent the rest of the night hoping for her arrival. This encouragement, echoed by Christina and Danny, empowered Molly to finally seek out Cody and confront their unresolved feelings. Simultaneously, Ava and Nina mended their fractured friendship at the Metro Court. In a candid conversation, Ava stood by her decision to warn Portia about Nina's suspicions, and Nina, though still wounded, acknowledged Ava's loyalty. Their reconciliation was a testament to their complex bond, even as Nina doubted she could ever repair things with Portia. Across the restaurant, Curtis and Jordan's dinner was a display of unity against outside pressure. Jordan, understanding Trina's hostility, suggested parting ways to preserve Curtis's relationship with his daughter. Curtis refused absolutely, vowing to correct Trina's misconceptions and declaring he would not give Jordan up. Their kiss was a defiant statement of their commitment. The day's most poignant moments were also its most heartbreaking. At Isaiah's cabin, Portia confessed her fear that the baby being his would forever alienate Trina. In a tender exchange, she admitted she hoped he was the father, a hope met with Isaiah's own quiet longing. Their intimate moment was shattered by the delivery of the subpoena, yanking their private hope into a public legal battle. Finally, Lulu's tree-trimming party served as a microcosm of the holiday's theme, fragile peace amidst underlying tension. With Laura and Sunny as buffers, Dante and Gio maintained a civil détente for Rocco's sake. Rocco's sincere apology to Laura marked a step toward maturity, and Joe's kiss with Emma under the snow and mistletoe offered a perfect, hopeful punctuation to the evening. Yet, in the background, Sunny and Laura's whispered strategizing about Sidwell was a stark reminder that in Port Charles, even a silent night is merely the calm before the storm. As these stories collide, Port Charles stands on the brink. The coming weeks will see baptisms of fire in courtrooms and private lives, encouraging words that fuel both romance and resistance, and angry threats that promise to reshape the landscape forever. The holidays are over, and the reckoning has just begun.